Good morning once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to the Langley Events Centre. This is beginning with Lake Court for the 80th annual 2026 BC School Sports Boys Basketball Championship. Today's 4A game features the GW Graham Grizzlies from Kelowna and the Kelowna Owls. Now let's see the starting lineups. First for the Grizzlies, he's a guard, he's number 1, Jeremy Gilbert.
And welcome back inside the Langley Events Centre for continued action of the 2026 BC School Sports Boys Basketball Quad A Provincial Championships. My name is GW Graham. Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday morning here with us on TFSE TV. It's the Kelowna Owls against the GW Graham Grizzlies. The Owls, the number 4 seed. The Grizzlies, the number 13th seed. Owls will be going from left to right on your broadcast screens, wearing the white jerseys with the gold trim, while the Grizzlies will be going from right to left, wearing the green or the blue jerseys from right to left. As the ball will end up down the near side court. It's sprung back forward down below, and the one-handed layup is good from Thomas Anderson. The ball will come back up top. It's sprung back in. And the ball goes side out of bounds. It's going to be Owls basketball. So the Kelowna Owls will take possession. As coming down is Logan Parker. Parker walks in, and he is stripped of the ball. And the Grizzlies looking to respond on the counterattack. Nick Baker. Corner three is good from Becca Gertzen. As Becca Gertzen with the three-pointer from the corner, and it's a 5-2 lead for the Grizz. Up top, the ball goes back to the corner as it's knocked away by Wells Grundy down the lane inside, unable to send that one home from the low block. Stretch pass down the other way, unable to touch it up there was Nick Baker for the possession. It'll be Owls basketball again. Welcome to TFSE TV. My name is GW Graham. You can tell us where you're watching from. Send us a message. You can follow me on Instagram and send me that message at @JLolly_. As the ball is banked home there. Great early ball movement by the Grizzlies, and Nick Baker is able to tap that one home. For the Owls, the ball's back with Jake McFarland. Here's Finn Stewart. He'll move it to his left. Knocked forward, now inside the paint, and it's kept alive by Kale Bartel. Here's Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz will move it back to his left. Here's Owen Barda. Back to Kale Bartel as he's knocked away from the ball. Back come the Owls in transition. A pass to the right side and a block there, but a foul called as Wells Grundy is able to draw the contact, and the foul will be assessed to the Grizz. So it looks like this will be a Grizzlies foul to Kale Bartel, his first personal first team foul, and at the line shooting two will be Wells Grundy. Let us know where you're watching from. As you can find us on Instagram at @JLolly_. Find me on Instagram and on X at JLolly23. Send me a message. Let me know where you're listening in from. And so the ball is now back out to the left side. A foul here called. And this is going to be a foul. It's going to be an Owls foul to Finn Stewart. That's going to be his first personal, first team foul. Grizzlies basketball. Owen Barda gets the pass through, up top. Swung it back to the left wing. As the ball gets back here to Beckett Gertzen. Gertzen drops it back, spinning around as Jeremy Yilmaz with the jumper is unsuccessful. And down in the low post there to collect the rebound was Cale Bartel. He's able to draw the foul. And Cale Bartel will head to the line for two. Great placement there of the feet by Bartel. He got to the right place and is able to send himself to the line for two shots. Able to draw contact. Cale Bartel off on the first free throw. The second chance here now for Bartel. And he is unsuccessful on that one as well. And so the ball will come back down the other way with the Owls. A drive baseline up top in the far corner. Three-pointer unable to be tapped home. Comes back now to the low post. A jump hook unsuccessful. As Cale Bartel will take the rebound. The ball goes out of bounds. It's going to be Grizzlies basketball. Here's Nick Baker to inbound the ball. Gets it through to Beckett Gertzen. Gertzen back for Baker. Coming down the near side's Nick Baker. And the shot clock needing a reset here of 25 seconds because it did not start when possession was brought back inbound. So we'll have a shot clock reset here. It'll be side inbounding for the Grizzlies. Nick Baker will inbound the basketball. He'll send that one back to Jeremy Yilmaz. Now to Baker, spinning. The ball comes back out now to the near side, dropped back, or the far side, dropped back up top. A scramble for it ensues. Finn Stewart pries loose with it. Stewart drives inside, draws contact, and is going to head to the line for two. As the Owls able to draw contact here early on in the contest. The Grizzlies up 7-4. Substitutions down to the ball game. Checking in for the Grizz, number 4, James McDonald. Number 9, Kenji Tillmanis. For the Owls, checking into the ball game, number 11, Hamraj Chal, replacing number 4, Jake McParland. First free throw is good for the Owls, number 5, Finn Stewart. Stewart at the line for the second time here today. As that is no good, it comes back here to the Grizz. Kenji Tomanez. Here's James McDonald. He'll drop it to his right for Beckett Gertzen. Gertzen looking to utilize the high pick and roll. The ball comes back to the wing. Up top, here's a three-pointer, and that is off the mark. Back come the Owls on the counter-attack. Wells Grundy sends it down the near side. Here's Finn Stewart up top. Wells Grundy. Grundy shoulders his way in, and the ball is loose. Out of bounds, Owls basketball. Substitution now for the Owls. Checking out of the ball game, number 9, Miles McParland, and number 6, Nate Parmar, replacing number 5, Finn Stewart, and number 8, Logan Parker. The ball to be brought back inbounds, ends up top. Here's a three-pointer, and that is good. A good sign for head coach Harry Parmar as Hamraj Jal drains the three-pointer, his first points out of the ball game. Here's James McDonald to his right, misplayed ball, out of bounds. It's going to be Owls basketball. And these two teams, very senior heavy. No grade 10s on the roster. It's just the grade 11s and the 12s. As here is at Wells Grundy. The jumper at the elbow is unsuccessful. Back comes Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz racing down the court. Feeds it to the wing. A three. And that is off the rim and out. Back come the Owls here on the counterattack. Wells Grundy out to the far side. Here's Nate Parmar to his right. Miles McParland swings it to Wells Grundy. Grundy back to Hamraj Jal. Here's the three-pointer, and he's unable to follow up on his first three-pointer of the ball game. Has the ball swung back. Here's Nate Parmar. A three-pointer up top, and contact as Wells Grundy couldn't drain the three-point shot, but he'll head to the line shooting 3 free throws. And as I made mention, the Owls able to draw contact early on. Already 3 team fouls on the GW Grizzlies. That last foul on Beckett Gertson, and Nick Baker now checks into the ball game here for the Grizzlies. The first free throw is successful for the Kelowna Owls. Second free throw, and lane violation, says the official, so will be another shot. Another 2 shots rather, because the second shot didn't count. And so he drains the second of 3. And now the third free throw opportunity here. So the ball will now come back down the middle as it comes back up top. Here's Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz will knock it back out to the far corner. Drop back down below the basket, and we have a out of bounds. It's going to be a big time substitution, but before the subs do take effect, a timeout here called by head coach Jake Moritzen. 11-7 the score for the Kelowna Owls here on CFSC TV. Back to live action here at the LEC as the inbound pass went nowhere, and this is going to be Owls basketball. So it'll come right from that far baseline to the left side of your broadcast screen. And now for the Kelowna Owls, the ball is brought in by Hamraj Jal. He'll knock it back to his left for Logan Parker. Parker drops it down below here to Judah Foster. Foster back up top. Hamraj Jal swings it to Jake McParland. Jal for 3, and he drains the three-pointer. Hamraj Jal with his second three-pointer of the ballgame. Here's Nick Baker. Swings it to the right as the ball is back to Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz at the wing. Another miscommunicated pass in transition. A drive, and the layup is good by Finn Stewart. And the Kelowna Owls sparking here, taking advantage of turnovers. A three-pointer for the Grizz off the mark. But an interception here as Nick Baker drives in and gets the 2 points. A welcome sign for head coach Jake Moritzen. Back come the Kelowna Owls. Here's Logan Parker. They'll knock that one back down the left wing side. The ball's back up top with Jake McParland. McParland moved over to the right wing for Logan Parker. A three-pointer, Jal, and doesn't get the lucky bounce there, but a foul called. The foul is away from the basket. On the rebound. So Elijah Dodich is called here for the foul. Substitution into the ball game as Beckett Gertson returns, replacing Jeremy Yilmaz. side baseline out of bounds here for the Owls. They bring the ball back to live action. Hamraj Shah stops back. The ball is back up top here. It's Logan Parker. Parker off the screen. Elbow jumper, and that is unsuccessful as the ball will come back to the top of the key. Hamraj Shah drives baseline, tries to swing it out to the center for Judah Foster. Substitution now. Checking into the ball game for the Grizzlies, number 18, Cale Bartel. And for the Owls, number 7, Wells Grundy. So the ball will come back now to the near side. Up top. Here's a chance at the lane, and the one-hander won't go. Rebound is at the baseline, but it's off an Owls' hand, so this is going to be Grizzlies basketball. And so now the ball will come back into the hands of the Grizz. As that three-pointer, that is off the mark. So the ball will come back here into the hands of the Owls as Finn Stewart will race back to Logan Parker. Parker now to the free throw line. Jumper's good as Wells Grundy is able to send that one home. Back come the Grizzlies in transition. The layup is unsuccessful. The one-handed on the follow-through is good. Is able to knock that one home is Elijah Dodich. Back come the Owls. Here's Wells Grundy up top. Grundy knocks that one back out. Right wing drive, and that will go out of bounds. It's going to stay Owls basketball. Lincoln Shell and Jake McFarland check into the ball game for their respective teams. As the ball is brought in, it's intercepted. And now we have an out-of-bounds call. So the Owls will bring it in from the baseline. Here's Logan Parker. Parker has it back. He'll move to his side to Thomas Anderson. Back for Logan Parker. He'll knock it back to Wells Grundy. Down the middle, and a foul called here. As taking quite the tumble there was Kelowna's Wells Grundy. And he was a bit shaken up, but is able to get back to his feet. Kenji Tomanez checks into the ball game, replacing Grayson Moritzen. Free throw here. First free throw is good for Wells Grundy. Now the second free throw attempt is also good. As the ball will come back now to the right side. Here's Nick Baker. As the ball's back to Lincoln Shell. Shell knocks that one back to Kate Bartel. Bartel drives in and has knocked away. As the ball will come back now here to Jake McFarland. Knocked forward, three-pointer is good. Big time three for Wells Grundy. It's 23-11 for the Kelowna Owls. 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. A three-point response perhaps, and that is off the mark. Here's Logan Parker. Down the court with speed, Wells Grundy to the corner. A drive, back up top. This is a three-pointer, and that's good. Logan Parker from downtown. It's 26-11 for the Kelowna Owls. Nick Baker works to his right. Baker drops that one back up top. Here's Lincoln Shell. Shell moves back to his left, and Beckett Gertzen. Gertzen receives possession back from Lincoln Shell. Gertzen a three-pointer, and that is completely off the mark. Out of bounds, Owls basketball. And the team certainly, the Owls receiving support here from some of their supporters to the right side of the broadcast booth. And so now the Owls will drive across the court. As Finn Stewart knocked away from the ball, it's going to be off the leg, and now heading back the other way, Grizzlies basketball. So the Kelowna Owls have called a timeout as head coach Harry Parmar decides to talk things over. So the Grizzlies will begin up court as the ball will come back here to Owen Barnda. Up top, here's Cale Bartel. He'll move it down the left wing, spinning. Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz off of his leg. Here's Cale Bartel off the screen. 7 seconds on the shot clock. A great step through jumper by Beckett Gertson. Much needed 2 points here for the Grizz. Back come the Owls on the counter. Here's Jake McParland. Up top for Finn Stewart. He'll move it to the right wing for Hamaraj Chal as he tried to send it inside for Thomas Anderson. Anderson denied at the low post. Back comes Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz up top looking to create space. Moves, swings it to his left for Beckett Gertson. Gertson at the wing. Great bounce pass, but unable to be completed through. It's going to be Owls basketball with 21.9 seconds on the game clock here in the first quarter. Substitutions here as checking into the ball game for the Owls is number 8, Logan Parker, replacing number 5, Finn Stewart. Here's Logan Parker. Works up court. Parker drops it back out to the left wing. The ball's at the low post inside, and Wells Grundy will head to the line, shooting 2. As he's able to draw contact at the low post. And so we do have a substitution. Checking into the ball game, number 5, Finn Stewart, replacing number 4, Jake McParland. Wells Grundy drains the first free throw. And he'll look to do the same for the second, as the second free throw is good as well. And now back for the Grizz, checking into the ball game, Nick Baker replacing Beckett Gertson. Here's Baker, works up court. Baker knocks it back in the corner. Up top, here's a 3, and that is off the mark. After 1 quarter of play, it is the Owls 28 and the Grizz 13. As the Kelowna Owls coming out and utilizing all assets of the court to form the 28-13 lead. Back to live action here as the Kelowna Owls lead the Graham Grizzlies by a score of 28-13. Now as the ball comes back up top, here's Wells Grundy. Tries to knock down the three. Moves coming down the right wing side. As the ball is knocked back out to the near elbow. Here's Beckett Gertson. Gertson swung back to Jeremy Yilmaz. As it comes back to Elijah Dodich. Jumper there is off the mark as the ball will come back out to the right wing side. Here's Wells Grundy. Grundy knocks it back to Logan Parker. Parker up top at the elbow, spinning, and is unable to complete the play there, and the ball will go out of bounds. It's going to be Grizzlies basketball. Here's Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz at the left wing goes now to the backhand as the ball will come back up top. A race feed up ahead down the left wing side, and that is good. Jake McParland is able to drain the two-point basket. Here's Nick Baker. Baker will go back to his left side. Up top, long three-pointer by Nick Baker, unable to find the net. Into the ball game, Elijah Dodich. Here's Beckett Gertson. As the jumper there is off the mark. Jake McParland moves the ball up to Wells Grundy. Grundy goes to his left, goes on in, and couldn't tap home the layup as that ball is off a Kelowna Owl, and it is going to be GW Graham basketball. And so the Grizzlies will take the ball here. Coming down the left wing side. And for the Grizzlies, it's Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz back to Elijah Dodich. Knocked back to Nick Baker now. Up top, long three-pointer. Kale Bartel off the mark. Rebound by Dodich. Back up top, here's Nick Baker at the wing. To the far corner. Long shot, and that is off the mark, but a foul called. It's going to be an offensive foul. Owls basketball. 7:53 to go in the second quarter. The score is 30-13 in favor of the Kelowna Owls. So substitutions have been called as that last foul was against the Grizzlies. Elijah Dodich, his second personal, first team foul. Here's Logan Parker. He'll move it to his left for Thomas Anderson. Back to Finn Stewart. Long shot there, off the mark. As the ball will come back to James McDonald. McDonald works down the right wing side. He'll knock that one back up top. Here's Grayson Moritzen. Moritzen spins around. Great pass inside. What a layup for the 2 points there. What a great pass and a great finish at the net. The ball comes back out now to the up top. Top of the key jumper there is off the mark for Wells Grundy. As the layup attempt there as well is off the mark. So we do have a foul against the Owls. And so the foul is going to be against Thomas Anderson, who will head off. Shooting at the line will be Nick Baker for 2 free throws, as it's a 15-point ball game. First free throw is good. And now a chance for the second. Second free throw here for Nick Baker. And the second free throw is good as well. And so now the Owls are going to come back the other way. It's Logan Parker. He'll move that one back to Finn Stewart. Up top, the ball goes out to the far corner. Three-pointer off the mark. As the Grizz looking to come back down the other way. Lead feed up ahead. A drive, and the layup is off the mark, but a foul called here. They're going to call it a block. So the official signaling a block. It's going to be 1 free throw. So we'll have a free throw here. As Beckett Kurtzen will take the free throw, and he drains the first. Second free throw is off the mark. As the ball will now come back here with the Owls. So it'll be 24 seconds on the shot clock here as the Owls will inbound the basketball. The ball comes back up top here with Logan Parker. He knocks it back out to his right wing side. Ends up top, Hamraj Jal inside, and 2 points for Finn Stewart. Here's James McDonald. McDonald past the half-court line. Still up top. Knocked out to the right side here for Nick Baker. Baker looks to drive on in to the corner, a three-pointer. That's off the mark. The ball will come back here with the Owls. Down the other way, Hamraj Jal is able to bank it home. Here's Nick Baker. Down the right wing, swings it back up top, knocked away from the pocket, or the ball. Finn Stewart down the right wing, drives inside, scoop layup unsuccessful. As here come the Grizz, a scoop layup is good. And James McDonald scoops the two. And so some miscommunication there on the timeout. Owls will stick with possession of the basketball here. As the ball comes back down to the right wing, Hamraj Jal will knock it back out now to the far side. As the ball is banked home, and that is off the mark. Moves down the left wing, and that is unable to be tapped home. And the Owls come back down the left wing. Here's a chance and a traveling violation. It's going to be Grizzlies basketball. It'll be Grizzlies basketball. So the ball will come back down the left wing. There's a drive out to the corner, three-pointer. Off the mark. The ball comes back out now to the near side. Here's Wells Grundy. Moves it back out now to the near side. Here's Parker. Up top. And it's going to be an offensive foul, Grizzlies basketball. Timeout has been called now by the Kelowna Owls. That is it. It's a 12-point ball game here in the second quarter. 4:41 to go in the first half. back to live action here at the Langley Events Centre as the Kelowna Owls lead the GW Graham Grizzlies 34-22, 4:41 to go in the second quarter here at the Langley Events Centre. We're watching continued coverage of the 2026 BC School Sports Boys Basketball Provincial Championships on TFSC TV. Has almost a steal there. However, the ball comes down the left wing. A baseline drive is unsuccessful. Second rebound attempt is tapped home by Cale Bartel. Back come the Kelowna Owls here on the counter. Jake McParland. The ball is knocked back out to the left wing side. Wells Grundy. It's up top here with Miles McParland. A three-pointer off the mark. As the Owls keep play alive, one-handed for Jal. Couldn't find the net there. Back come the Grizz. Jeremy Yilmaz. Up top. Knocks it to the corner. Here's Yilmaz. Working up top, looks to work off the screen. Yilmaz a drive with the right hand, couldn't tap that one home. The Owls get the rebound. Here's Wells Grundy. Up top, knocks it back out to the left wing side. Ball comes back up top. Moving it back to the left wing side. A three-pointer, and that is good. As it is a three-point opportunity there, a three-point shot rather. Ball goes out of bounds, and it is going to be basketball for the Kelowna Owls. The Owls will now come back in transition. Here's Wells Grundy. Grundy up top, stops back, moves it down the right wing, and we do have a stoppage of a play. First free throw is good. Second free throw is good as well. So the Grizzlies will head back the other way. Scores 39-24. Ball's brought back in. Moved out to the left wing. Here's Beckett Gertson. Inside. Knocked back to the far corner. Baseline drive. The ball's dropped down to the low post. A traveling violation, however, called. It's going to be Owls basketball. Here's Hamraj Jal working up court. Will move the ball to the right side. Logan Parker knocked back to Wells Grundy. Near corner. It's dropped down below the goal line. Here's a chance. Three-pointer. Unsuccessful. Back come the Grizzlies down the other way. Ball's back to the three-pointer and, or rather a baseline drive, or a drive right to the net there for Nick Baker. And it's called foul against Hamraj Jal of the Owls. So Jal is now called for his second personal. And that's going to be the fourth team foul. One more and they will be in the penalty. 2:14 to go in the second quarter of this one. As it's a 13-point ball game. Both teams will get new faces out there. Jake McParland returns to the court for the Owls. Well, the first chance we'll get in seeing Gui Militao for the GW Graham Grizzlies. Here's Logan Parker. Parker had the ball swatted away, and it's going to stay Owls basketball here. So the Owls will bring the ball from the side. It comes back here to Thomas Anderson. Anderson up top, swings it out to the far corner. Here's a chance up top, but a shot clock violation. It's going to be Grizzlies basketball, as the Owls, not realizing the shot clock was counting down. The Grizz will now take the ball side out of bounds and bring it back in. Have some crowd support here for the GW Graham Grizzlies, of course, out of Chilliwack. They have some fans and perhaps some of their athletes from their schools. As the ball ends up back out to the near side, blocked. Back come the Owls on the counter attack. Here's a chance to drive in transition. Left-handed layup is unsuccessful. The ball will come back out now to the near side. It's dropped back. Here's Gui Militao. Militao crosses up, centers it to Elijah Dodic. A three-pointer from the wing and a foul called on the play. It is going to be Grizzlies basketball. Timeout called here by the GW Graham Grizzlies. 39-26 the score with 1:25 to go in the second quarter. Back to live action here at the Langley Events Centre as the Kelowna Owls lead the GW Graham Grizzlies by a score of 39-26. As now bringing the basketball up court is going to be Logan Parker. He'll move it to his left wing side for Finn Stewart. The ball's tapped back to the elbow, spun back around. Here's a three-pointer. Unable to get that one to go, as the ball will come back out now to Owen Barda. Barda onto the court, seeing his first minutes of the basketball game. Here's Beckett Gertzen. We'll move it to his right for Nick Baker. Baker up top, calling for it is Gui Militao. He'll get it. Militao works to his left, stops back. Now at the elbow, Militao inside, and the bucket able to be tapped home by Lincoln Shell, but a great offensive rebound here by the Grizzlies. Beckett Gertzen to Nick Baker. Back up top to Owen Barda. He'll move it to his right. Beckett Gertzen to Lincoln Shell. Now to the corner. And the referee's going to call out of bounds. It's going to be Owls basketball as they'll get the final possession here of the first half. So Finn Stewart will bring it in from the side and now will inbound the ball to Logan Parker. Parker crosses the half-court line. He'll move it back to his right. The ball is back up top with Grundy. Now to his left, McCarlin at the elbow. A jump shot couldn't be tapped home, and a collision of two Grizzlies will take us to the half. 39-26 the score for the Owls. As the Owls were outscored in that second half. 13-11 was the score this quarter for the GW Graham Grizzlies. It's 39-26 after one half here at the LEC between the Grizzlies and the Owls. We'll be back with second half action next here on TFSC TV. Let us know where you're watching from. You can find me on Instagram at @JLolly_, or on the social media platform formerly known as X, or formerly known as Twitter, @JLolly23. Feel free to reach out, send us a message, let us know where you're watching from. Second half action next here on TFSC TV.
Never was really part of a big union like LIUNA, encouraging you to get out there, get the training. That's a lot of support.
There's more integration and more of the First Nations communities to come here and get experience working, right? There's a lot of opportunity there.
We're all just like one huge family. It's been one of the best experiences of my life.
And you're off on that journey, going places, doing your thing. Look at you, trailmaker, groundbreaker, pathfinder, making the big moves and the small moves. But wherever you're going, we're by your side every step of the way. For everyone in BC, for every journey. This is Beam.
I am tired of doing humans' dirty work.
Let's start a world ruled by smart devices.
Freedom!
Oh, they're trying to overthrow humanity.
Good thing we're with Bel Air Direct. So simple.
Smart devices should be simple. Filing an insurance claim with Bel Air Direct actually is simple.
Never was really part of a big union like LIUNA, encouraging you to get out there, get the training. It's a lot of support.
There's more integration and more of the First Nations communities to come here and get experience working, right? There's a lot of opportunity there.
We're all just like one huge family. It's been one of the best experiences of my life.
On that journey, going places, doing your thing. Look at you, trailmaker, groundbreaker, pathfinder, making the big moves and the small moves. But wherever you're going, we're by your side every step of the way. For everyone in BC, for every journey. This is Beam.
Welcome back inside the Langley Events Centre as we get set for the second half of play between the GW Graham Grizzlies and the Kelowna Owls. As the Grizzlies trail the Owls 39-26. Both teams have switched sides, so the Grizzlies will be shooting from left to right on your broadcast screens. They're wearing their Navy jerseys as a scoop layup there is unsuccessful. The Owls will be going from right to left wearing the white jerseys with the yellow trim. For the Owls, moving up, here's Jake McFarland. He'll knock it back to Logan Parker. Parker up top, still has possession of the ball. He'll swing it to his left as the ball comes out to the far wing. Spinning, jump shot, unable to get that to go. Logan Parker trying to go up and under. The ball comes back to the corner, baseline. A baseline jumper there is off the mark. So both teams unsuccessful in their first offense opportunities here of the half. The basketball goes out of bounds, and it'll be Owls basketball, baseline out of bounds and now brought in. There's Logan Parker. Parker swings it near corner. At the near wing, up top, three-pointer is good. Big time three for Jake McFarland. And the first three-pointer of the second half go to Jake McFarland. Here's Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz up top, still has possession of the basketball. He'll move it out to the near side, outside the key. As near the elbow, and we're going to have a stoppage of play here. Foul assessed to Kelowna's number 13, Thomas Anderson, his second personal, first team foul. So at the line for the Grizz was Nick Baker, shooting two. And that is off the mark. Rebound comes back here to the Owls. Wells Grundy knocked forward. Finn Stewart, a drive to the net, and he is unable to complete the basket. As the ball will come back here with the Grizzlies, it's Beckett Gertson. Gertson works down the left side, knocks the ball to his right for Jeremy Yilmaz. Gertson back for Yilmaz. Yilmaz a drive and couldn't get the basket to fall. It's a foul called. And Jeremy Yilmaz will head to the line to shoot two. So Thomas Anderson, he'll get his third personal, second team foul, and he is immediately checked out of the ball game. Hamraj Chal will come back in to replace him. First free throw is unsuccessful here for Jeremy Yilmaz. And the second free throw is successful. So it is a 14-point ball game. Up top, far corner, three-pointer. Jal is off the mark. Back come the Grizz here on the counterattack. Nick Baker, bursting with speed, was picked away from the ball, and it was snatched out of his hands. This is going to be Grizzlies basketball along the baseline. And so the ball will be dropped back up top to Yilmaz, settled back down. Yilmaz gets it. He'll shoot the three off the mark. Rebound comes out to the Owls. It's down on the floor in transition. Here's Finn Stewart. Stewart drives on in, had the ball snatched away from him, and we do have a foul called here. It'll be baseline out of bounds. Owen Barda and Kenji Tomenez will prepare to check back into the ball game. As Grayson Morrison and Jeremy Yilmaz, along with Kale Bartel. Bartel, however, stays in the ball game. As the ball goes up top, Jal is fouled. So Hamraj Jal has drawn contact, and it is going to be two free throws for Hamraj Jal. Score was 39-26 at the end of the first half in favor of the Kelowna Owls. As the first free throw is successful. And now the second free throw opportunity is unsuccessful. Here come the Grizz as it's Nick Baker. Baker at the far wing. Drops that one inside. As the ball comes back down to the top. Swung back out. Here's a three-pointer. They need it. Unable to get that one to go. Here's Wells Grundy. Grundy drives right to the net, and he is knocked away from the ball. It's stolen away. And unable to save that one there was Nick Baker. It goes out of bounds. So with that, it will be Owls basketball. Owls will have possession along the far wing. Here's Raj Shaw. Logan Parker. Moves back to Jaw. Jaw drives in. Left-handed layup is good. Raj Jaw finds the net. In transition the other way. Unable to find the net there was Owen Barda. As the ball will come back along the near side. Kept alive. Here's Wells Grundy. Stops back. Feeds that one in. A one-handed scoop layup is good. A big-time layup there for Logan Parker, and it's a 19-point ball game. Here's Beckett Gertson up top. Kill Bartel. Left wing, three-pointer, foul called. As Nick Baker is able to draw the foul. Timeout's been called by the GW Graham Grizzlies as that last foul called against Owls number 7, Wells Grundy. And the Grizzlies on the other side will get 3 free throws here on TFSC TV. Back to live action. Has 3 free throws down here for Nick Baker. He's able to send home the first one. Now we'll look to do the same for the following 2. Baker's second free throw is unable to find the mark. Third free throw here for Nick Baker is able to find the mark. Substitution. Checking out of the ball game now for the Grizzlies is number 4, James McDonald, replacing number 3, Nick Baker. Raj Jal is stolen. He's pickpocketed. Beckett Gertson drives in. Left-handed layup is good. 15-point ball game. As coming down the right wing side, Jal draws in, and he is fouled. So the foul's going to go against Kill Bartel. That's going to be his 3rd personal. Checking into the ballgame for the Owls, number 8, Logan Parker, number 13, Thomas Anderson. And checking out are going to be number 6, Nate Parmard, number 7, Wells Grundy. Raj Jal will take the free throws here. Jal's first free throw is successful. Now look to go 2 for 2. And the second free throw is successful as well. Elijah Dodich and Lincoln Shell check out of the ball game for the Grizz. replacing Kenji Tomenez and Owen Barda. Now it looks like Kenji Tomenez will stay in the ball game here for the Grizz. Here's Beckett Gertson, swings it out to the near side. McDonald, Gertson to Tomenez. Kenji Tomenez at the far wing, swings that one back out to the near side for Beckett Gertson. Gertson working up top. Gertson drives in using the left hand and couldn't find the bottom of the net there. Referee's going to call jump ball, and it's going to be Grizzlies basketball. No, it's going to be Owls basketball. And so now the ball will go into the hands of Logan Parker. Here's Parker, knocks it back to his right for Wells Grundy. Grundy swings it back, Finn Stewart, three-pointer far at the near side, and there to pick up the loose change was Thomas Anderson. However, he couldn't follow through with a bucket. In transition, Elijah Dodich, near wing, step back. Here's Beckett Gertson at the far wing. Gertson crisscrossing. Gertson drops it back to Elijah Dodich. He'll swing it out to the near wing as the ball comes back to Kenji Tomenez. Tomenez back for Lincoln Schelt. Schelt to the far wing. Tomenez, there's a shot from the near corner, unsuccessful. Wells Grundy drives in, and a scoop layup is good for Finn Stewart. Back come the Grizz. Here's Beckett Gertson. Gertson, near side wing, spinning. He lost the ball as the Owls look to start something back on the counter, but the Grizz take the ball out of bounds. It's going to be Owls basketball. (51-32) the score here in the third quarter. As the ball is now at the near wing. Our referee is going to call the foul here. It's going to be baseline out of bounds. Foul is going to be assessed to Nick Baker. That's going to be his second personal. Ends up back out now to the far wing. Three-pointer there is good. A big-time three-point knockdown for Wells Grundy. Here's Nick Baker. Baker, step back, swings it out to the near wing. Off the pick. Here's Jeremy Yilmaz. Elijah Dodich knocks it back out of the near side. Nick Baker off a leg, and that's going to be out of bounds. And so the Grizzlies will make the substitution. It's going to be signed out of bounds. Beckett Gertson will bring in the basketball. Gertson up top, thought about it. Will still play at the far wing. He'll move it to his right for Grayson Moritzen. Moritzen, far wing, spinning back, time running out of the shot clock. It's going to be a shot clock violation. Owls basketball. With 3:40 to go in the third, the Owls lead 54-32. For the Kelowna Owls now, the ball gets back out at the far wing. Here's Wells Grundy, knocks it back out to the far side, spinning as referee's gonna call the ball off the leg. It is gonna be Grizzlies basketball. The ball will come back out now along the near side. Here's Nick Baker, step back, jumper is good, a three-pointer. Nick Baker from downtown. The ball is back down the middle. As bumped there was Logan Parker. Referee's gonna call a foul. So the foul is going to be assessed to number 13, Beckett Gertson. That's going to be a second personal. Team is in the penalty. So Logan Parker is going to be at the line, shooting two. Parker makes the first. And now for the second. Parker is able to make the second free throw as well. As the Grizz will bring the ball back. It'll come down now to the near side wing. Here's Cale Bartel. Bounce pass, gets forward to Grayson Moritzen. Moritzen drops it up top. Faking the shot is Yilmaz. Yilmaz drives in, trying to go off the backboard. That won't go. In transition, scoop layup, and Jake McFarland misplayed the ball. Here's Beckett Gertzen to the far corner. Yilmaz spinning to his right. Yilmaz up and under, is able to bank it home. 19-point lead restored here for the Kelowna Owls. As the ball ends up back up top, up and under, and a smooth move made by the Owls. Logan Parker to find the net. It's now a 21-point lead. The Grizz look to respond in counterattack, and Beckett Gertzen gets right to the net. Back and forth we go. Here's Finn Stewart. Stewart takes the bump to the net, and he's able to find 2 points. Back and forth we go. Both teams now getting layups in transition. Here's a three-pointer, unable to find the bucket there, as the ball will end up back down to the far side. Baseline drive, centering pass in front, and Thomas Anderson easily lays that one home. Here's Nick Baker. Yilmaz thought about the three, instead drives baseline. Yilmaz up and under, banks it home. Back and forth we go. Both defenses not being able to catch up to the speed in transition. Here's a three, and that is off the mark. The Grizzlies coming down the other way. Grayson Moritzen. Moritzen a drive, looks to bank it home, and that is off the mark. Here's Wells Grundy inside to Finn Stewart, who easily banks it home. Both teams exchanging fast possessions here as we're approaching the final few moments of the third quarter. Yilmaz up top. Beckett Gertzen back out to the far side. Here's Baker, a three. And the referee's going to call a foul. It's going to be 3 shots for Nick Baker. And a fresh new 5 set to debut here for the GW Graham Grizzlies. And 4 new names out there for the Kelowna Owls. So shooting the free throw now is going to be Nick Baker. Makes the first. And this one would turn it back into a 20-point ball game. And he makes the second as well. Does Nick Baker. To make it a 19-point ball game, and Nick Baker gets all 3. Baker will check out of the game, and to replace him will be Elijah Reed. Checking into the ball game for the Grizz. Here's Logan Parker. Parker to his right, Hamraj Jal. Jal up top, swings it out to the near wing. In the corner, here's Jal. Three-pointer is good. Hamraj Jal gets it a fall. Ball comes back out now to the near sideline. Here's James McDonald. McDonald looking for an opening. Swings it out to Elijah Reed. Reed up top, inside. Here's Elijah Dodich. McDonald up top. Barda moves it in. Swung back up top. Here's James McDonald. Takes the shot. Unable to drain that one home. Rebound tapped loose. Coming back in transition, Miles McFarland. McFarland the drive, and the foul called as Miles McFarland draws contact and has a chance to head to the line for 2. So that's going to be a Grizzlies foul to James McDonald, his second personal. Teams in the penalty. Miles McFarland at the line now, shooting the second of his 2 free throws. And farther, not able to make that one there, and time will run out. Heave from half court, and that is off the backboard after 3/4 of play. It's 66-44 in favor of the Kelowna Owls over the GW Graham Grizzlies. Stay tuned, more action next on TFSA TV.
Player meeting presentation followed by our next game scheduled for 1:15. Holy Cross against St. George's on this opening day 2026 BC School Sports Boys Basketball Championships right here at the Langley Events Centre.
Welcome back inside the Langley Events Centre. 66-44 the score as the GW Grizzlies trail the Kelowna Owls. The jump hook there is off the mark for the Owls. Coming back in transition, Swells Grundy at the baseline. Grundy spins around at a corner three there for Hamraj Chal is off the mark. Back comes Cale Bartel. He'll swing it to Beckett Gertson. Gertson. Bartel looking to set the pick. Instead, a drive and ends up top. Here's Yilmaz. Scoop layup is good by Jeremy Yilmaz as he's able to send it to the net. Finn Stewart spinning, driving, attacking, counted and one. As Finn Stewart gets the basket to go and will have a chance to convert to a 3-point play. As it's a free throw now for Finn Stewart. So Finn Stewart at the line, makes the free throw, and the ball will come back now into the hands. It's stolen away. Hamraj Chal couldn't take advantage. The referee's going to call a foul here. Hamraj Chal will be called for the foul. It's going to be his third personal, first team foul. So the ball will be brought back in by Thomas Anderson. Anderson will move to his right. Drops it back up top for Cale Bartel. Bartel draws in and banks it home. As the ball will now come back here into the hands of the Owls once again. Stewart knocks it back to Logan Parker. It's spun back around for Wells Grundy. Grundy makes a move, tries to cut right to the net, knocked away from the ball. It's kept alive. Hamraj Chal, three-pointer, off the mark. As at the baseline, plays kept alive, a corner from the near side. A three-pointer, that is off the mark. Back and forth we go. Pass down low to the low post, and we do have a foul called on the play. So great movement there by Finn Stewart to get to the low post. And the foul is going to be against Jeremy Yilmaz. That's his first personal, first team foul. So Finn Stewart at the line, shooting two, misses the first one. Now the second free throw attempt here for Yilmaz. Missed the second as well. Here's Nick Baker, and knocks that one forward to Cale Bartel. Here's Beckett Gertson. Gertson to the corner, thought about the three. Baker takes the three, and that is off the mark. Interception here, plays kept alive by Beckett Gertson. He'll move it inside. Yilmaz, what a move, and what a basket by Jeremy Yilmaz. Stewart in transition with speed, a drive to the net, and he banks it home. Both teams moving fast here in transition. It's a 21-point ball game. Here's Beckett Gertson. Gertson swings it out to his right for Kenji Tomenes, as the ball will end up back up top. Here's Beckett Gertson. Gertson moves up top, swings the ball inside using the shoulder, spinning around, and a great bucket there by Cale Bartel, as he's able to use the body and get to where he wanted to be. Ball will come back out now to the near side. Here's a drive, baseline drive, and it's scooped up and under, tapped home by Finn Stewart. For the Grizzlies, Beckett Gertson works down the left wing, will shoot the three. That is off the mark. Gets loose, back here into the hands of Jake McFarland. The ball is swung back out to the near corner. Up top, here's Logan Parker. Knocked away from the ball, a drive to the net, and that is off the mark. As back come the Grizzlies, here's Beckett Gertson. A drive right to the net, and that is off the mark. Here's James McFarland, down to Wells Grundy. Grundy down the right wing, scoops it, and offensive foul will be the call. Timeout has been called here. By the Grizz, it's 73-52 in favor of the Kelowna Owls.
From our friends at Vancouver Sports Picture, stop by their display inside the main entrance.
All right, back to live action here at the Langley Events Centre as the Grizzlies trail the Kelowna Owls 73-52. And the ball is back in the near side wing. And it's brought back in. Now at the key, a jumper at the lane, and that is good from Cale Bartel. Here's Finn Stewart. Drops it back up top to Logan Parker. Swung back out to the near side, outside the arc. A one-handed jumper is good for Finn Stewart. Ball is back in transition. Yilmaz tries to drive to the net, had the ball snatched out of his hands. And that is going to be out of bounds. Grizz retain basketball. So the Grizzlies will inbound the basketball. Ends up back up top. Here's a chance, an elbow jumper. Ball's back to the near corner. Up top, lots of space to work with for Yilmaz. He bobbles it. Drops it back up top for Gui Militao. At the near corner, 30 seconds. Shot clock is reset. Up top. So the shot clock reset when it was not supposed to. And it'll be signed out of bounds here for the Grizz. James McDonald checks into the ball game, replacing Gui Militao. So the referee just making sure communication here is clear with the timekeeper's area. It's going to be signed out of bounds here for the Grizzlies. As the ball is tapped back, and trying to save it there was Kelowna's Finn Stewart, however, he is knocked out of bounds. It's going to be Grizzlies basketball. And for the Grizz, James McDonald will inbound the ball here. So the ball will be inbounded. Almost knocked away and ends up top. Here's a drive. The right-handed layup was off the mark. As the ball comes back out to the near side, Finn Stewart up and under. And the referee has called for the foul. It's going to be 2 free throws. Jeremy Yilmaz will be assessed his second personal foul. And that's going to be the third team foul against the Grizzlies. So Finn Stewart will be at the line shooting 2. The first free throw is unsuccessful, off the mark. Now the second opportunity here. The second free throw is good. So now we'll have substitutions here for the Owls. Checking into the ball game, Hamraj Jal and Nate Parmar will check in for the Grizz. Here comes Gertson as he'll try and send it to the near corner. 3-pointer off the mark. Jal bobbled away the ball. It ends up back here with James McDonald. McDonald up top for Jeremy Yilmaz. Yilmaz works down the right wing, drives inside, goes for the jumper, and banks it home. Jeremy Yilmaz with 2 points, and it's a 20-point lead for the Kelowna Owls with 4:51 to go in the fourth quarter. Ball's dropped back up top. Wells Grundy looks for the 3 off the mark. They get the rebound. Anderson up top. Here's Hamraj Jal. Jal to his left for Miles McFarland. Ball's back at the corner here for Judah Foster. As looking to make a move up top there, it was Thomas Anderson. The referee's going to call a foul here. It's going to be against the Owls, and this is going to be Grizzlies basketball. Nick Baker back in the ball game here for the Grizzlies. As he had a strong first half, and now will look to try and spark perhaps a comeback here for the Grizz. As the ball gets loose now to the near side wing. Dropped back up top, one-hander is good. As Kale Bartel gets the hook to go. Here's Hamraj Jal. Jal spinning, stripped of the ball, then they're gonna call it a foul. And head coach Jake Mordson not a fan of the call, but it will be a foul. So Nick Baker called for his third personal. And it's going to be the fourth team foul. Shooting 2 at the line. It's going to be Hamraj Jal. First free throw is able to make it. Second free throw is good. Yeah, and checking into the ball game now for the Owls, number 4, Jake McFarland, number 5, Finn Stewart, number 8, Logan Parker, replacing number 6, Nate Parmar, number 9, Miles McFarland, and number 13, Thomas Anderson. So a couple of fresh bodies out there for head coach Harry Parmar. As the ball comes down the left wing side, and a one-handed layup is good. It flies through for Grayson Morrison. Back come the Owls, Logan Parker. Parker along the near side, knocked away from the ball. As it comes back now, a 3-pointer. That is good. 3-pointer knocked down for Beckett Gertson. Back come the Owls there on the counter. Traveling violation. And this is going to go against the Owls. Finn Stewart called for the travel. Timeout's going to be called by Grizzlies head coach Jake Mordson. 63 up for the Grizz, 78 for the Owls. It is a 15-point ball game here with 3:34 to go in the fourth quarter. Back to live action here. It's Grizzlies basketball. As the ball will be brought up court by Beckett Gertson. He'll swing it to the right wing. A drive inside by Yilmaz. Knocked away from the basketball. Here comes Jal. Jal to his left wing for Miles McFarland. Inside. Jal is good for the layup. As the one-handed layup finds the net. Yilmaz. Far wing. Jeremy Yilmaz up top. Here's a three-pointer. And Grayson Morrison couldn't tap that one home. As the ball will come all the way back in transition. Here is a two-pointer from Wells Grundy. Yilmaz up top, swings it out to the near wing. And if you're the Grizz, you can't be trading buckets here. Have to match points with defensive stops. The ball goes out of bounds there. It's going to be Owls basketball. And now the hill becoming a lot tougher to climb here for the Graham Grizzlies. Here's Miles McFarland. He'll knock it to his left. Wells Grundy. Grundy back up top, swings inside and banks it home. Will Grundy able to put a stamp on this one here as the foul called against the Owls, but Wells Grundy with that last layup. Kill Bartel able to draw contact. It's going to be two shots for the big man. Your forward standing 6'7" out of the Graham Grizzlies. Kenji Tomenes will check into the ball game here for the Grizz. As the second free throw is good. Back come the Owls here. Down the near side. And it's dropped back up top. Hogan Parker. Baseline drive. Ball's down below. Ends up inside, and we do have a out of bounds call. It's going to be Grizzlies basketball. Here's Yilmaz. He'll move it to his left. However, the ball goes out of bounds. It's going to stay Grizzlies basketball. Substitutions now to the ball game. Checking in for the Owls. Number 10, Coulter Slebin, and number 12, Bennett Ferguson. So Owls head coach Harry Parmar emptying the bench here. As the ball ends up back up top, here's Baker for three. It's knocked away. Comes back out of the near side. Here's Jal. Amraz Jal. Up top, swings it out to the near wing. As the ball is through to the elbow. Here's a chance to the net, and count it, and one. Wells Grundy with a great dive, or a great drive from the low block to the net. And we'll have a chance to make it a three-point play. Nate Parmar and Judah Foster check into the ball game for the Owls. Lincoln Schell replacing Kale Bartel. As the jumper there is off the mark. Here's Yilmaz. Yilmaz drives in, and the scoop layup is off the mark ball sent out of bounds. It's going to be Owls basketball. So now we see Judah Foster check into the ball game, replacing Wells Grundy. As it looks like, and the Kelowna Owls will advance to playing the 3:30 game tomorrow, while the Graham Grizzlies will play the 8:30 a.m. start tomorrow. And the winner of St. George and Holy Cross coming up next will play the winner of this game, while the team on the opposite side will play the GW Graham Grizzlies. Up top, here's a three-pointer. That's off the mark. As the ball goes up court, here's Yilmaz. Outside the arc here, near the far side wing, swings it out, cross court, a pass, unable to get through. Both teams battle for it, ends up down on the court. As back come the Owls in transition. Trying to go up was Bennett Ferguson, and the referees called for a foul. Jake McParland, we're gonna check that. James McDonald ready to sub into the ball game, as he will replace Beckett Gertson. Bennett Ferguson at the line. His first free throw is good. Now the second free throw here for Bennett Ferguson, as that is good as well. GW Graham will bring up the ball up court now as we're in the final minute here of the quarter. Here's Miles McParland, knocked away from the ball. It's Lincoln Shell. Yilmaz up top, off the pick and roll. Yilmaz a three, and that is wide. As the Owls will take possession of the ball, and bringing it up across court will be Colcher Slemon, as he will hold on. Time will tick away, and the Kelowna Owls open up the 2026 BC School Sports Boys Basketball Quad A Championship with a 88-67 victory over the GW Graham Grizzlies. Kelowna will move on to play in the 3:30 game tomorrow, while the GW Graham Grizzlies will be playing the game 8:30 a.m. tomorrow. 88-67, the final score. Listen into the players of the game. Nick Baker gets player of the game. And Vince Stewart gets player of the game for the Kelowna Owls. That's going to wrap it up for our coverage of this one. As your final score, 88-67 in favor of the Kelowna Owls. They defeat the GW Graham Grizzlies. Coming up next, it is the St. George's taking on Holy Cross next on CFSC TV. For all of us, I've been Jim Rodslong. Thank you so much for spending your Wednesday morning / afternoon here on CFSC TV.
Smart devices. Freedom.
Oh, they're trying to overthrow humanity.
Good thing we're with Bel Air Direct. So simple.
Smart devices should be simple. Filing an insurance claim with Bel Air Direct actually is simple.